Hey everybody, Cougar here with a retro beginner's quick start guide for what is, in my opinion, one of the funnest two-player co-op games ever released for the PC. Talking about Orcs Must Die 2 from Robot Entertainment, released in 2012. You can pick it up on Steam these days for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, and it is so much fun to play. And I think a lot of people may get turned off by the kind of cartoony, flashy, splashy graphics here, but underneath these bright, colorful graphics, there is a deep, complex game that goes out of its way to encourage cooperation between the two players who are working together to defeat these orcs. It is a first-person tower defense game. So you're going to be putting down traps, you're going to be using magical items to delay these orcs, to stop these orcs in their tracks before they can reach the exit to each level, as in a traditional tower defense game. But you've also got this first-person component where you're using some really fun weapons, some magical items like lightning rings and ice amulets, stuff like that, along with some magical trinkets that will boost and amplify your own powers and those of your traps and your co-op partner as well. Again, this game is really super geared toward cooperative play. They've done an excellent job in really integrating that and making it a super important part of how you play the game. You and your partner have to work together to maximize your combos. Combos will take these enemies down faster. They will give you more gold. They will give you more points if you're interested in points and that kind of thing. It does have a built-in voice chat. The voice chat has never been really that good. Again, it came out in 2012. I have used Steam Chat and Skype and TeamSpeak and stuff to communicate with partners for this game, but it's not necessary. It certainly helps. So let's take a look at the spell book right here. You can see a bunch of our different traps, magical items, magical powers, the guardians, which are archers, paladins, and grenade-throwing dwarves, I should say. And what I want to do now is just show you one level from beginning to end. This is going to be the Hidden Gulch level, and it is on Nightmare difficulty. Nightmare difficulty, there are no breaks between the waves. You have 3 seconds to get some traps down. This is the first wave on Hidden Gulch. Now, for a lot of these maps, yes, you're going to be pathing the orcs. You're going to use barricades to make them go down one particular route and then put all your traps in that route. For this map in particular, with 2 skilled players, you can basically just assault them as they come out of that rift. And you don't have to worry about moving them all down one particular hallway or the other. If you take a look at my toolbar down there, my weapon of choice is the crossbow. The crossbow has 2 fire modes and an alternate fire. You can hold the mouse button down to rapid fire it like I'm doing there. Almost like a submachine gun. It is not very accurate, but you are putting out a lot of damage up close. You can also snipe like I'm doing here and go for headshots. Headshots can be extremely powerful with the proper upgrades. It also has the alternate fire right mouse button stun that will freeze enemies in place for a small amount of time. Now I'm using the lightning ring magical power. That is the next item on my toolbar down there at the bottom of the screen. The lightning ring has 2 fire modes. It has primary fire, which is a chain lightning like that. The alternate fire will drop a lightning cloud, which I'm sure you've seen me use in some of those clips at the start of the video here. And you'll see me use it again here as well. Like right here. So lightning cloud will chill the enemies underneath it. It will slow them down, and those lightning bolts will be doing a lot of damage as well to everything within there. This is a guardian archer I'm going to put down. I'm going to put down a ton of archers here, and these archers are just going to target everything coming out of that rift. My tar traps, the black floor traps that you see me putting down, those will slow these enemies down a great deal. They don't do any damage, but they do slow them down. My partner has put down some floor spike traps. You'll see those going off doing a lot of damage to these enemies as well. You can see me stunning this big guy there while my partner runs up and melees him. Again, cooperation is key here. I stun him, that lets him run in there and do a lot of damage with his melee weapon, while I sit back safely and plink away with my crossbow. Again, this is nightmare mode. These enemies are a bit tougher. We don't get any downtime between the levels. To set up traps, we have to be setting up traps on the fly. That's key in nightmare mode. You see there that blue flash that just went off, and I've got a pulsing blue cross around me. That indicates that I've just activated my magic trinket, which in this case is the mana trinket that boosts my mana regeneration by quite a bit when it is active. And then you see it's on a cooldown timer. If you look at my toolbar down below, my mana trinket is now in cooldown. The passive boost from the mana trinket is that it makes my mana bar bigger. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you can see my avatar on top and my partner's avatar on bottom. My avatar has a longer mana bar. That's because I'm carrying the mana trinket. My partner is equipped with vampire gloves. Those are sucking health from the enemies and giving it to him. That drains his mana. The alternate fire for the vampire glove will trade some of your health for mana. So the idea is you boost your health at the expense of mana to begin with, and then you restore your own health using the mana. Drop a lightning bolt. Archers are vulnerable to lightning. And when I said at the beginning that this was a very deep game, that is part of it. I'm trying to indicate to my partner that we need a wall trap there. But a lot of the depth in this game comes from the fact that enemies have specific strengths and weaknesses, in addition to the combos that I was talking about earlier. Setting up a healthy combo scenario is really important and can make things a lot easier for you. But a lot of enemies do have specific things that they're weak to, other resistances as well. So keeping track of what traps you're bringing and what kind of damage you can put out with regards to what kind of enemies you're going to be facing is key. Putting down some more tar traps, try to slow these guys down a bit more so that the archers that I'm putting down can do more damage. Now, for example, these earth elementals, that big earthy looking guy back there, they are weak to explosives. So having something that can put out some explosives, you just saw a grenade bounce past me. That was a dwarf grenade. So dwarves are very useful when dealing with a map that has a lot of earth lords on it. The dwarves will throw grenades at them and the explosions will take them down fairly quickly. Those are earth elementals. Time for some more tar, because in a minute I'm going to be putting down even more archers, and we definitely want to slow these guys down before they can reach the archers. Now you see the minecart that's traversing the map here on those tracks. The traps that are on the map, the environmental traps, are extremely powerful, and we want to make use of them as much as we can. So that's why we're trying to stop these guys before they get past the tracks. If we can hold them up on the tracks, that minecart will be doing a lot of damage. Sappers are little suicide bombers. They'll come running out of the rift carrying explosive barrels on their back, and they'll run right at you and blow up. In terms of a beginner's quick start guide thing, one thing I want to mention, you'll see that some of the orcs coming out of the rift here are carrying shields. It's really important that you understand how shields work to maximize your own effectiveness. The first shot on a shield-carrying orc does no damage. All it does is strip him of his shield. So it doesn't matter how much damage you're putting on that...
Watch out, Sappers!
more Sappers. How much damage you're putting on that shielded orc to begin with. It's not going to take any damage from that first hit. Stun that Earth Lord and try to get some headshots on him. And then I want to stun that big armored ogre there and try to get some headshots on him while my partner stays up close and drains his health with his vampire gloves and uses his melee weapon on him. My archers are upgraded with fire arrows, which looks really cool, and fire arrows do a great job on sappers. The fire arrows will detonate their explosive barrels almost immediately. These flyers up here, chain lightning is almost OP versus these flyers. See us taking down a lot of flyers with the chain lightning there. Let me just explain what we're seeing on the screen here. If you want to look in the upper right-hand corner, you've got a rift point counter. If that reaches 0, you lose the level. You lose points for letting orcs get past you and escape the map. You will also lose points for dying. And then to the right of that, you see 6 of 12, does that say? That is the wave counter. We are on the 6th wave. And below that is the mini-map for the level. Now, in addition to my tar traps here, you see that if you look down at my spell bar, the one to the right of the tar traps, this one I'm going to place there, that is a boom barrel dispenser. That will spit out into boom barrels on a timer, and those boom barrels will fall to the ground and explode. Or if you put the boom barrel dispenser right down on the map, it will just kick the boom barrels out and you can detonate them whenever you want. You can also pick the barrels up and run into a group of enemies and fire your weapon at the barrel you're holding. You will not take any damage, but everything around you will. Again, voice chat is really important here. I'm not chatting with this particular co-op partner. This was a random guy that I hooked up with through Steam. The game does not have any kind of built-in lobby or matchmaking. That is one of the big drawbacks. If you want to play co-op, you're either going to want a friend to play with you, or just post in the pinned co-op request thread on the Steam forums, and someone will contact you for a game. And you can also add friends from that forum and try to contact them. Still trying to get my partner to put a wall trap up there. He's missing a really important spot by not using that. You gotta look for places where see, I want one here. You gotta look for places where your traps will converge to create good combos. And with an angled wall like that, that is ideal for getting some trap convergence. At this point, we could probably just sit back and let our archers and dwarves and traps finish this for us. We have put down a pretty good kill box here. Putting down another boom barrel dispenser over here. Now those boom barrel dispensers are not high enough for the barrels to explode, so they will just sit there until something makes them explode. You can do that on your own by shooting at them, or if they get hit by, say, an archer's arrow or something, they could explode as well. Or another trap. Any other trap will set them off. There is a troll. Trolls are weak to lightning. The trolls will regenerate health. That tall, skinny green guy that we saw there. Trolls do regenerate health, but they are weak to lightning. Lightning takes them down super fast. So yeah, pick up a barrel there. Unfortunately, an archer arrow shot it and set it off. Pick up another one, but again, an archer shoots it accidentally. I run into an arrow, and that sets it off. That wolf howl you hear, that is a gnoll. Those are very dangerous. The one that just came out of the rift is a grenade-throwing gnoll. Super dangerous. We want to take him down as quickly as possible. And that has already happened. I leave that to my melee-equipped partner. He's going to have a better chance of taking those gnolls down than I will. Because they move very quickly, and they're fairly tough. I drop a lightning cloud over all these guys coming out of the rift, and then slam them with some of the flyers with some chain lightning as well. One of the upgrades I have on my crossbow is that headshots regenerate my mana. So every time I make a successful headshot, I'm getting a little bit of mana left. That is just a super powerful tool in terms of you use your mana, you use mana to activate the stun. So what you can do is you stun something, you take a couple of headshots, that regenerates the mana that you just spent on stunning him, and then you stun him again, and then you headshot him again, and then you stun him again, and then you headshot him again. And you can set up a nice kind of perma-stun using that tactic. I'll drop a last lightning cloud here, and I think that's going to do it. Yep, there we go. So there it is, guys. Orcs Must Die 2 from Robot Entertainment. You can pick it up for pocket change on Steam these days, and it is super, super fun to play. So leave a like if you enjoyed watching. I'll do some more of these. Take care.